Okay, so today we would like to discuss one more very important uh, key exchange algorithm, uh, which is only concentrated on only key exchange algorithm, here key exchange only, and it doesn't have any encryption or decryption, which is Diffie and Hellman key exchange algorithm. This is very useful algorithm for exchange keys on public domain, not in private domain. And as far as the previous classes are concerned, symmetric key cryptography. If you consider symmetric key cryptography, thereby we have performed some kind of encryption and decryption operations, and we have used one private key, and the private key will be transmitted. Otherwise, private will be sent to the receiver on secure channel, right? So here the secure channel maybe we could not rely that particular secure channel, and if it is reliable there is no problem at all. If it is not reliable, obviously key will be known to, or key will be disclosed to other people. So this could be the problem with the exchanging of a key from sender to receiver, otherwise receiver to sender, however, whatever it may be. So the key exchange will be a big challenge over there. So that is why that could be a biggest problem for us. In terms of asymmetric key, otherwise a public key cryptography, public key also sometimes public key also transmitted at a secret level. Sometimes it is very often it could be happen here, and how this could be done. So here, so far we have discussed encryption algorithm has been discussed. For some algorithms, decryption also be discussed with the respect of this particular cryptography. But right now, how a key could be transmitted from sender to recipient. So that is the point we'd like to discuss here. And this point will be Diffie and Hellman. So these are the two people, Whitefield Diffie and Henry Hellman. So more and more specifically speaking, Whitefield Diffie, he is the person who introduced or who wrote many number of many number of programs, papers, journal papers on cryptography, right away from 1965 to 1970, 85. During these 20 years, he wrote many number of algorithms regarding to cryptography. And these algorithms are based on discrete logarithmic algorithms. And discrete logarithmic algorithms have been utilized by the people right away from 1972 onwards. Okay, before that, there is no discrete algorithms. So, however, these are the two people whomever introduced this key exchange algorithm to the cryptographic community. And here normally two people, so one is two trusted principal. What does it means? The sender and the receiver, trusted principal in the sense the people who are being communicated with each other will be called as trusted principal. And these two people can be so transmit one particular key. That key is called as secret key over insecure channel. Okay, over insecure channel. If you consider public key cryptography, so that doesn't matter, because secret key will be always in the pocket of the sender, and he will put the public key onto the insecure channel. So public key can be received by many people, and they have to encrypt by using public key. So that could be placed onto the insecure channel. So it could be happen. That doesn't matter. So while a key exchange algorithm could be will be taking into consideration of public key cryptography here, where private key cryptography, yes, Diffie-Hellman algorithm is very important while transmitted so-called secret key on insecure channel also. Okay, previously if you consider the symmetric key algorithm, so transmission of a key must be done on so secure channel. But here security does not require. So that is the point here. And the secret key or shared key will be not cannot be used to encryption or decryption for messages while we are talking something about a DH algorithm, that is Diffie-Hellman algorithm here. This algorithm cannot be gives you any information regarding to how encryption process will be done and how decryption process will be done. So it could be always performed. So there is a principle, so trusted principle 1, otherwise sender, and there is another principle, so trusted principle 2, and wanted to communicate these two. So previously, so these two will be communicated, so-called key on secure channel, something like this. Key will be transmitted, something like this. Now there is no need of this secure channel. Instead of this particular secure channel, we have to place this particular key onto the insecure channel, something like the internet. Okay, if you place internet, people could not understand, the intruder could not understand what these two people are communicating. So that is the point we would like to consider. So therefore, there is no issue regarding to encryption or decryption. These two cannot be done. Okay. So it depends on the effectiveness of this particular transmission of a key or exchange of a key between two people or two trusted principles that could be done discrete logarithms. Okay, using logarithms, it has been done here. So that is why discrete logarithms will be very, very complicated to resolve such kind of problems here. So let us examine how this could be. So, however, Diffie-Hellman algorithm could be always used to exchange the key. That's all. There is no other information, other kind of operations such as encryption and decryption. Why I am keep on giving this statement in the sense you people must understand it is only key can be exchanged between two people, but not the encryption operation or decryption operation. What exactly done here? If you want to perform DES on one particular kind of data, first of all, Diffie-Hellman could be done by transferring or by exchanging the key on public domain. Then you have to follow the DES. Otherwise, AES also. If you consider AES, the key must be transmitted in secure channel in general format of AES. So now, after Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, first you have to prepare a key and then send that particular key to your recipient by using Diffie-Hellman algorithm on public channel. Then you have to run AES algorithm. However, whatever this symmetric algorithm, so how many number of symmetric algorithms are there? Before going to operate symmetrical algorithms, so you have to operate so Diffie-Hellman, so key exchange keys. So that is why this is what we would like to consider. Look at this. So symmetric key after two parties are agree on that particular key, then they have to apply any symmetric key algorithm. Whatever the symmetric key algorithm you could have picked, which is stronger, you may be considered. So you have to done it. So before that, you have to transmit the or exchange the key. So however, some notes will be there. These notes will be useful for you to note down. So sharing the secret key publicly in the sense, so you have to let us consider this is internet. So you have to share your key or you have to place your key onto internet and it could be received by the recipient. Similarly, recipient also place his key onto internet, another person will also be received. So key will be placed onto the secret key. So simply speaking, KR in the sense, so private key. Private key will be placed onto the internet. So anybody can access, but that could not be identified whether it is key or data. So that is the specialty of this particular algorithm. Okay. And here, no encryption. Similarly, I'm talking about this one for a while, continuously in this discussion. And a group of people, so group of people must be transmit so-called key on insecure channel, and then two trusted principals are supposed to use any public channel or internet or any other public channel which is insecure, non-secure. Then you have to transmit the keys So right away from what I have specified just before, like that it could be transmitted. And intruder can also be listen those numbers. Intruder listens. The hacker can also be listen or take those numbers, but he could not understand what is that. So that is the specialty of this particular algorithm here. And let us go ahead and take the importance of this algorithm. This algorithm has been made up of 7 steps. Okay, this algorithm has made up of 7 steps. And let us consider before going to take this one, A is 1. So capital A is one a principle, and the capital B is another principle. These two are trusted principles actually. These two people are communicating each other. This is the point where exactly we would like to consider. Followed by I, the character I, let me say intruder. So intruder. So the first character of intruder I will be the intruder or hacker, and he is supposed to listen everything what A and B are being communicated. Okay. So if you consider these things, then let us consider here. They agree. A and B are agree on two large numbers N and G, a number n and a number g, and these two must be 1 less than g less than n. Okay, one must g must not be equal to 1, and n must be much greater than g. Like that, they have to consider. They have to consider such kind of n and g values. And so the trusted principle A will be chooses a random value that is x. It is a random value that is x, and he may be computed. So x will be equal to capital X will be equal to g power x modulo division of n. So here this n and g will be taken by both the trusted principles A and B. After these two will be commonly identified and can be taken by A and B commonly. And besides to n and g, A himself is chosen one particular random value that is x. After taking this particular x is not known to so-called B. Okay, that is the point you need to understand. X is not known to so-called B here. So after taking this particular this particular consideration, what exactly these people are trying to do here? A will be computes x will be equal to g power x modulo division of n. So you must get some particular kind of value here. After this one, A will send this particular x to B. So whatever the value, or just he was computed on taking a random value x. So this value could be sent to B. Then B will be chooses one more value that is y. Y is also a random value which is not known, by A. Okay. So x and y are not known to each other. X will be considered by A and y will be considered by B. Okay. Now he has identified so y equal to so g power y modulo division n. Like this, he was identified or computed one particular value that is y, and he must turn this particular value to a. Okay, y to a here. Afterwards, a will be after receiving the value of x. Sorry, the value of a capital Y. After receiving this one, a has computed some key k1 will be equal to y power x modulo division of n. So this is the private key of a. This is the private key of a. Okay, and b will be computes k2. So capital X, what the value which has been received by b. So that particular value, and he was chosen one particular value that is random value that is so y. So based on that, so he was identified x power capital X power y modulo division of n. So this is a private key of a, and this is a private key of b. This is a private key of so b here. Okay. However, so here one point you need to understand: k1 must be equal to k2, because we have already known that the symmetric key algorithms must be taken same key as input. Okay, either decryption or encryption. If you take any kind of operation here, in encryption k will be taken, on decryption also k will be taken. If k1 will be some value and k2 will be some other value, So Diffie-Hellman algorithm cannot be proposed before symmetric key algorithms. That is what you need to understand. That is very important point and note you need to understand. So here, so the value of K1 and the value of K2 must be equal. So finally, so after getting these two values will be considered as a private key, that is key here, K here. This K will be so sent to encryption or decryption. That is what the point you need to understand here. So probably yes. In this context, you would like to consider. In this context, you'd like to consider K1 is equal to K2. Indirectly speaking, G power X into Y. G power X into Y modulo division of N, and which will be called as a symmetric key. In this way, it has been transmitted. Okay. So first of all, trusted principles will be always agree two different values. So by taking those two different, because those two different values could also listen by I in the sense intruder. Intruder could also listen N and G. So there is no problem at all. Then A himself chooses a value X and he will compute G power X modulo division of N will be some capital X. Capital X will be sent to B. Similarly, B also performs the same operation. So B chooses a random value small y. He will compute G power Y modulo division of N. Okay, that will be capital Y. And the capital Y will be sent to so A here. After sending this particular value to A, so A will be computes one particular key here. That key will be K1 will be equal. Otherwise, KA, if you are not interested in K1, you may be put it as KA. KA equal to Y power X modulo division of N. And KB will be equal to so X power Y modulo division of N. So if you think in such a form, so both will be equal. Both will be equal. Okay, and this is the way to communicate with. To communicate same key between two people. So in this regard, it has been shared by both the trusted principle, so that symmetric key cryptography kind of algorithms can be run after this operation. Okay, and if I apply some transitions. So let us consider A is one trusted principle, B is another trusted principle, and these two are communicating each other on insecure channel. Trying to I'm specifying very consciously. So these two people are communicating with either on with each other on insecure channel, and in addition to these two people, the one more person is in the middle. So he is intruder. Otherwise, the hacker is also there in the middle, and he's also listen onto the public domain. Public domain is available for everybody, not exactly for A and B. Anyone can access the data which is being transmitted over public domain. Now, what exactly these people are doing? So they have been considered N and G. So this has been chosen by A and also chosen by B. Both has been taken. So N and G. Of course, N and G will be also taken by the intruder. Okay, N and G will be available with the A, and N and G will be available with the B. Of course, it is because of public domain. So he's also get those values N and G. Afterwards, so A will be considered, or A will be calculated. So G power X modulo division of N on consideration of small x. Okay, so it also, because it has been sent to B, it has been sent to B. Therefore, it is also placed onto the public domain. So if it is public domain, obviously intruder could also known about that particular value. Okay, capital X is known to so intruder. And after that, B has been calculated G power small y modulo division of N. Of course, it is also transmitted over public domain. So if it is public domain, obviously he is also listen to this. He is also listen to this. But the question is, so he is known about N, he is known about so the G, and he is known about so X value, capital X value, he is known about capital Y value, but he is unknown about what is small x value and what is small y value. In this particular presentation or in this slide, I have given that g power x and g power y. I have given straight away the statements here. Don't consider these are straight away statements. These are values actually. These are actually values. Okay. So x might have some kind of quantity and y might have some kind of quantity. And how he will consider about g power x and how he will consider about g power y by a and b is not known to intruder. It is very difficult to identify what is the value of x and what is the value of y by taking brute force algorithm also. It is highly impossible. So that is why key exchange operation is very secure. Even then the exchange operation will be done via public domain or insecure domain. And let me continue. Okay, key one will be A will be A will be calculated this one and B will be calculated this one. Of course, we have already told you that this key one and this key two, otherwise K2. These two are not supposed to be listened by intruder because K1 will be calculated by A and he must kept this particular K1 with him. K2 will be calculated by B and he must kept this particular K2 with him. These two values could not be transmitted over public domain, otherwise insecure domain. So therefore, what is K1 and what is K2 doesn't known by the intruder. So therefore, there is no problem. So because of small x value and small y value, because of not knowing of these two values, it's highly impossible to break down. So what is the capital X value and what is the capital Y value here? Okay, so that is the basic problem. Okay, then how the things will be. So this is the way you have to communicate, and N and G will be known to each other, and then he may be chosen one particular value that is small x, and small x value after taking capital computing capital X, he was transmitted, and then he may be choose y, and he is transmitted this value. Further, he computes K1 equal to whatever the key 1 and whatever the key 2 which have been computed by A and B formally. Okay, so this is the algorithm where exactly we have to consider. Out of this whole algorithm, we'd like to consider, so in public key cryptography, so what is that? Algorithm requires a prior communication between A and B here. Okay, so algorithm must be communicated with A and B. More specifically, in public key cryptography, so there should be prior communication with that I in the sense the person who is starts it's a broadcasting or starts data which is being transmitted. That particular person must be broadcast is a public key. Already we have a victim or we have seen the same kind of information in RSA algorithm also. Okay, and then so this is the discrete kind of logarithmic problem. So g power x, this g power x is e power y e power x, something like that. So this g power x is discrete logarithms. So this discrete logarithms will be somewhat difficult to compute back the value here. So that is the point you need to consider here. So choices of G and N are critical, because why it is critical in the sense you have to take very biggest value of G and N here. So these two values will be very small. Sometimes there is a possibility to break down this one. If these two values are very biggest values, yes, it is highly impossible to break. Okay. So if both n and n minus 1 by 2 are prime, so then one is n in the sense that is g, and n minus 1 by 2 in the sense that is n. If these two will be prime, so there is no problem. And if n will be very large, and this particular equality, this particular specific equality will be get satisfied for so g and n here. So here n will be taken one particular value, for example 997, and n minus 1 by 2, n minus 1 by 2 in the sense, so 997, so minus 1, that is 996 by 2 here, 996 in the sense 495 or 493, something like this. So here, what exactly you need to consider? G will be equal to 997. That is the point we would like to consider. And n will be equal to, so this n and here this n, these are not equal. Please try to understand here. Okay, n will be equal to n minus 1 by 2, that is 493. So if you take in such a form 493, I'm sorry, this is not the case here. Wait for a while. I'm very sorry. This is not the case here. Case will be seems like this. The case will be the seems like this. So n will be equal to, so 997 as it is. There is no difference at all. But g will be equal to, so 493. 493, because we have already taken one particular inequality. One is less than, so g is less than n here. That's what the inequality has been taken while discussing something about so the algorithm here. So n will be as it is. There is no problem. Sorry, I'm very sorry. N will be the same value. What we have to consider, n minus 1 by 2 will be the g value here. So if n will be very large enough, then obviously it is very difficult to break down the specific item here. So the intruder in the middle or man in the middle, there are many number of attacks. So these attacks could not be done here. Okay. So this is what about the class today. This is what about the class today. And here you need to understand this particular algorithm. You must keep this particular algorithm in our mind very carefully. This algorithm is very important. This algorithm is very important. Okay. These algorithms, I mean, public key cryptography algorithms could not be as like a symmetric key. Symmetric key does have some number of, steps and some number of rounds and some number of key permutations and combinations. Many things are there in symmetric key. But here, such kind of permutation combinations could not be there. This is based on so logarithmic or what is that? Many other things are being involved here. So that is why algorithms are very slow, very small enough, tiny enough. Okay, just in terms of sentence by sentence kind of algorithms could be available here. So this is the algorithm we would like to consider. And tomorrow we will meet and we will have one more algorithm. So that algorithm is Elgamal. Elgamal algorithm, how that Elgamal algorithm could be done and how the Elgamal algorithm could be so evaluated. Let us discuss by tomorrow. Okay. How many people? Only 6 people are here.